In this video, I'm going to show you how to create real urgency in your marketing without making people feel pressured or tricked. You'll also see which types work best when you're selling services instead of products, how to keep people's trust while you're doing it, and what to say when someone asks a question like, "Is this deadline real or are you just saying that?" And with that said, let's get started. Okay, so what is it about urgency that makes it work so well in the first place? So the thing is, when something is hard to get, our brains automatically think it's more valuable. It's just something that is ingrained in us. Remember the last time you went to book a hotel and saw only one room left at this price? Did that make you book faster? Probably. That's why so many kinds of businesses use it at some point. But the thing about using urgency in a service business is that it can feel a bit weird. What do I mean? Well, if what you know urgency marketing to be is those sort of like countdown clocks that start over every time you visit the website, the only 3 spots left or last chance emails that are just made up so people buy, then yes, you have good reason to not want that kind of thing in your marketing strategy. 'Cause that kind of thing can break trust. And once your audience figures out you're lying about one part of your service, they start to see you as one of the cold corporations that only care about their money. For some reason, it's easier to come off as more pushy as a service business than if, let's say, you were running an e-commerce business. In those kinds of product-based businesses, even if the urgency thing isn't really done well, people just seem to roll their eyes and buy anyway. But for someone running a service especially, it's usually better not to give them any reason to doubt you. So, does this mean you shouldn't use scarcity and urgency in your marketing if you want the trust of your customers? No, that is not what I'm saying at all. Because when you avoid scarcity entirely because you're afraid of seeming pushy, you're actually doing your prospects a disservice. You're leaving them in decision limbo. So if they aren't the kind to make quick purchases, they will probably postpone the decision to buy over and over again. And they end up never taking action on buying something that could genuinely help them. Let me share 3 types of genuine scarcity that work beautifully for service-based businesses without requiring you to compromise your integrity. Number 1, we have capacity-based scarcity. This is the most authentic form of scarcity for service businesses because it's simply the truth. You can only work with a limited number of clients at a time. Maybe you can only take on 5 new clients per month because you're delivering a high-touch service. Maybe you only have 10 consultation slots available this week because you're one person running a business. This isn't manufactured urgency. This is reality. The mistake most business owners make is keeping this reality to themselves. They think, well, people should just know I'm busy. But your prospects don't know. They assume you're always available, so there's no reason to book today instead of next month. Make your capacity limits visible. On your landing page, in your emails, on your booking page. Let people know that you have limited availability. When those spots fill up, update it in real time. Don't leave only 2 spots left sitting there when you actually have 8 available. That's where trust breaks down. 2. Time-sensitive bonuses. This is where you attach extra value to quick action, but the core offer remains available. For example, book your strategy call by Friday and receive a free 30-minute funnel audit, or sign up this week and I'll include a custom email sequence review. Notice what's happening here. You're not saying the main service disappears. You're rewarding people who are ready to act now with something additional. This feels completely different to prospects because they're not being forced into a yes or no decision under pressure. They're being offered an incentive for moving quickly. If they miss it, they can still work with you. They just won't get the bonus. This works especially well in email sequences where you're nurturing leads over time. You can introduce a bonus midway through the sequence, give people a legitimate deadline, and then remove it when that deadline passes. And 3, calendar-based deadlines. This is scarcity tied to real dates and events, not arbitrary timers. Maybe you're closing bookings for the month because you're going on vacation. Maybe you're raising your prices in 2 weeks because your costs increased or your experience level justifies it. Maybe you're launching a new service next month and won't be taking new clients for your current offer. These are legitimate calendar-based reasons for urgency. And here's why they work so well. They're verifiable. Your prospects can see that these are real constraints tied to actual events, not marketing tricks. The key is to communicate these deadlines clearly and well in advance. Give people enough notice to make an informed decision, but not so much time that they forget about it. So the real question isn't whether to use scarcity, it's how to use it honestly. Okay, so before we go on, let me just say this. Okay, not all scarcity tactics work equally well for all types of services. If you're a consultant selling high-ticket strategy packages, capacity-based scarcity makes perfect sense. Your clients understand that your time is your most valuable asset. But if you're offering a lower-priced service that scales more easily, constantly saying only 3 spots left might actually hurt you. It makes you look like you're not that established, or like you're artificially limiting your availability to create false demand. Similarly, if you're in a service industry where clients expect immediate availability, like emergency IT support or rush copywriting, too much scarcity messaging might push them to competitors who can help them right now. The point is that your scarcity strategy needs to match the reality of how your service business actually operates and what your clients expect from your industry. This is where most generic marketing advice falls short. It tells you to create urgency without helping you figure out which type of urgency makes sense for your specific business model. So how do you actually put this into practice without losing sleep over whether you're being honest? First off, you want to make sure that you always deliver on your promises. If you say there are only 5 spots available, there better be only 5 spots available. If you say the price increases next Monday, it better increase next Monday. Your reputation is built on keeping your word, and nothing destroys trust faster than fake deadlines. 2. You want to combine scarcity with genuine value and clear expectations. Scarcity should never be the only reason someone buys from you. It's the nudge that helps them act on a decision they were already leaning toward. Make sure your landing pages, emails, and sales conversations clearly communicate the transformation you provide, the process you use, and what they can expect when they work with you. 3. Try to update your scarcity messaging in real time. If you're using a spot counter on your booking page and someone books, update it. If you're sending emails about a Friday deadline and it passes, stop sending those emails. Nothing screams fake urgency louder than messaging that doesn't change when the supposed deadline passes or spots fill up. This real-time authenticity is actually easier than you might think with modern tools. But even if you're manually updating things, do it. Let me use this opportunity to answer a few questions on what we've just discussed. If you have any other questions, please leave it in the comment section. So, how often can I use scarcity? As often as it's genuinely true. If you legitimately fill up every month and have to close bookings, then you'll naturally communicate that every month. If you run quarterly promotions with time-sensitive bonuses, you'll use that type of scarcity 4 times a year. The frequency isn't the issue. The honesty is. What you want to avoid is constant, never-ending last-chance messaging when nothing is actually changing. That trains your audience to ignore your urgency cues because they learn nothing is ever really the last chance. What if I run out of spots early? This is actually a good problem to have, and it's an opportunity to build even more trust. If you genuinely fill up faster than expected, update your messaging immediately. Send an email letting people know you're fully booked and when you'll be opening up availability again. Offer to put them on a waitlist if you have one. This demonstrates that your scarcity was real, not manufactured. And it positions you as someone in demand, which actually makes you more attractive when spots do open up again. Thankfully, you don't need fancy software to implement ethical scarcity, but a few simple tools can help. For countdown timers tied to real deadlines, tools like Deadline Funnel or Thrive Ultimatum work well because they can enforce genuine deadlines without resetting for each visitor. For appointment-based scarcity, your scheduling software probably already shows available slots. Tools like Calendly or Acuity make it easy for prospects to see exactly what's available, which creates natural urgency without you having to say a word. For capacity counters on landing pages, you can use simple HTML and update manually, or use form tools that show remaining spots and update automatically as people sign up. So look, implementing scarcity ethically isn't complicated, but it does require you to think through what's genuinely true about your business and how to communicate it clearly. If you'd like a quick 5-minute audit of your funnel or your process to spot the areas you can test and improve upon, check out the free downloadable checklist, especially made for service businesses with smaller teams. It's meant to help you trace the leaks in your own business and identify what your next steps should be to solve them. This way, you can make changes to those exact areas of your sales pipeline and understand your customer better. You'll be more likely to get more out of your marketing efforts, even with the same number of leads in the future. The link is in the description below. And if you want a deeper dive with a full funnel audit where I personally walk through your landing pages, emails, and booking process to identify exactly where you're losing potential clients, that's available as well. You'll find the details in the description. Thanks for watching. This has been Rita with ClicksandThings.com. See you in the next one.